welcome to the show, everybody. On the Perf podcast, coming back at you from PCSL Two Gun Nationals. We have come full circle, ladies and gentlemen. We recorded our first episodes at Two Gun Nationals 1 year ago, where both of us had catastrophically disappointing matches, and we came back here to redeem ourselves. And whether or not we did that, we'll talk about in a minute. But we got thank a couple people first here, and we're going to be kind of snappy about it because this is going to be probably a pretty long episode, and we're actually at our lunch break. The match isn't over, but Maxwell and I are done with the shooting. So we're going to have to throw in some little quick plug at the end with the actual results of the match. We know some things. We don't know other things. We definitely do not know who's on the box. Pretty much all up for grabs. Mr. Maxwell, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. So would you say you feel vindicated?
No, not even a little bit.
Like a lawyer, ladies and gentlemen, never ask a question on the pod you don't know the answer to. I do feel vindicated. I feel a lot better about how it went this year than how it went last year for me. In my head, I have 2 scored errors, and I would accept those as acceptable losses for pushing, for as hard as I went, where I was really upset last year. Also, I think because it was a little bit of a redemption run, I maybe didn't have as high of expectations of being on the box. Like, I've won this match before in its early days, or I was close. No, I won it. I think. Man, they run together. Anyway, I'll have to go check the trophies at home. But I've done very well in PCSL over the years. But also, as time has progressed, the heat has turned way up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hitters here. I mean, there's AMU guys here who shoot pistol primarily. There's a lot of top-level pistol shooters that came here. So, like, the temperature of the room is going up a lot. But what I set out to accomplish this year was more of a solid execution for me. I kind of know where I was at, and I wanted to do right by some of the things that didn't go right last year. And I think I achieved that. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to end up box-wise, but I was pretty happy with how it turned out. I think we're both a little bit – I feel like it's kind of like in a sports team, like as they get towards the playoffs and everyone's playing a little injured. They got nagging injuries and blah, blah, blah. So Riser, as you'll hear over the next few weeks with episodes we put out, Riser's under the weather / nursing old injuries. I have an old injury that requires active management, and I have not been able to actively manage it correctly. So I've been wrestling with physical condition, just tail end of the season, lack of recovery, that kind of stuff. But like technical execution of the match, like what I set out to do at Make Ready, for the most part, I pulled off. And so I was pretty stoked on that.
Awesome. Well, before we dive too deep in, a couple of quick shout outs to our boys. Hopefully, so we actually haven't published any of the episodes as of this recorded on the new mics that were bought by our friends at Briley Manufacturing. But man, the quick little slap the audio onto the computer, I gotta think they're gonna sound way better. And we can be in the same place at the same time and not have a bunch of weird echoey shenanigans. So thank you, Briley. We appreciate you.
And Riser isn't going to muzzle me anymore with his free-handed microphone, just waving it around the room like a freaking baton.
Yeah. Mr. Maxwell, you got a little Atlas for us, buddy?
All right, Atlas Gunworks. So would we say you're like half a season into your Atlas conversion, right?
Yeah, it's about a half a season.
How many matches you got down on yours?
Let's see. I think I got it right after Nationals. So I think I have, I got Memorial, Idaho, this one, and I feel like something else. Oh, in Texas. So I got 4 majors on the Apollo, plus a handful on other Atlas loaner guns. I think I only shot 2 or maybe 3 majors this year with my old STI.
Still happy with your choice?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, quick rundown. what are your selections on the drop-down menu? If someone was going to order the Atom Riser special.
Yep. Murdered at Black, like Killer Mike likes it. I've actually gone all over the place with grip panels, and I ended up back at flat panels on both sides because I have little tiny hands. The larger of the two magwell, or the competition magwell, and the small hands version of it, because it kind of pushes my hand up into the beaver tail a little bit. Large left safety, non-shielded, small right safety, short trigger. I believe that's it.
And I was shooting a pistol, I guess I've had it for a couple seasons now. I'm on an Artemis in practical division. I run two-tone, short flat trigger, unshielded, left-handed bias safeties, right-handed oriented magazine release, even though you can get it on the other side. Full palm swell on both sides, large hands, magwell on the bottom, and the heavier trigger job, which is the move. Feels a lot crisper, and it's less, you're literally living less on the edge. But those are the pistols we're running down here. End of 2025, end of 2025. Liked it so much I ordered another one. So I should have a pair now of identical Artemises, practice gun, match gun type scenario. And that leads us to your favorite time, my favorite time, everyone's favorite time. Woo. It's time for the Gary of the day. And I actually remembered midstream the one we were actually going to do instead of the one that Riser and I talked about. So, Gary of the day is people who think it saves a lot of time to preload handguns and rifles. Stop it. Literally stop it. All right, so a few times here, somebody had the big brain idea, and this isn't the first time it's happened, but they're like, you know what would save us a lot of time? Because this match was running behind schedule. Run behind schedule all 3 days?
Yep.
Yeah. So they ran behind schedule, not absurdly so, but everyone points out when I run behind schedule, so I'm just going to go ahead and point that straight out, that they were running behind schedule. And so the staff was feeling pressure to move things along. And last year they played around with pre-staging last year too.
Yep.
Preloading makes sense for shotguns where you have to individually load the tubes with loose shells, and then you need to restock your caddies. That does take a significant amount of time. A lot of people on the IPSC side really wanted us to run IPSC make-readies. I'm going to go on record that I understand, but it's dumb. But for pistols or rifles, they're like, oh, well, we're gonna make, and it makes sense in their head. It makes sense. They're like, oh yeah, they'll be all ready to go. We'll just move them right over to the box. Are you ready? Stand by, boop. Putting the bullets in the gun is the part that takes the least amount of time. That's like shooting a bunch of doubles and thinking you're gonna shave minutes off your match time by shooting faster. Like, no, that's literally like the least amount of time you can save.
Yep.
Is preloading somebody, and it just adds exponential complexity because you need essentially another body managing that stage, because that person has to be managing a shooter, and then there's all it's just people are usually not very organized about it, and then the general public is not. They're not very organized, or they're not very comfortable or organized with, like, oh, now I got to move from here over to there, and everyone's worried about getting DQ'd. It's just super dumb. So the quote-unquote preload for two-gun is dumb. And if you think it's a good idea, you are the Gary of the day.
You're quite salty about that one.
It's like something else we're going to get into later. It's like when good cops spot some bad cop shit, they like pounce.
Yep.
Yeah, they eat their own. When good cops see people doing bad cop shit, they eat their own, and that's where I'm like, this is not working out the way you think it is, but it's adding
complexity without saving time.
Yeah, it's added complexity without actually saving any time. If you added complexity and you saved some time and it caught the match up,
yep,
then it would make sense.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't. All right, well, with all good stories, I think we should just start at the beginning here.
So there we were. It was negative 5 degrees outside when I left my home to go to the airport. And I got here, it was literally 40 degrees warmer, and everyone was complaining how cold it was.
Yeah. So, short days and pretty chilly days in the desert in the winter, which is why the Mad Framingham schedule just kind of like ran out of daylight and then never quite got back to where they wanted to be.
The window of time
Yes.
where we can actually shoot is concise.
Yes, it is a very concise. And when it gets dark kind of all at once. Like the sun goes down and you got about 15 minutes and it is pitch black. So we roll out here, head up to our first stage. I am absolutely crushed. I got the flu on Thanksgiving, as everybody heard on the last show. I was very much not healthy yet by the time I got to the match here. And
we were doing some stretching. You were like, you had serious back
I had
concerns as
serious
well.
back problems because I have a disc in my back that I've slipped a couple times, and that it just like you're immediately unfunctional for like 3 weeks. And so because I just spent like a week straight shivering through the blankets on a couch, I was all curled into a ball and hadn't done any stretching, which I have to do to stay ahead of it. And so I can barely walk. I'm coughing all the time. When I do cough, it makes my back spasm and pretty much drops me to the ground, which is real fun.
That's what I was worried about. Like he's being a little dramatic with the barely walk, but that's what I was worried about was you folding in half on stage.
And so my make ready routine was I'd put in a cough drop when I was in the hole, and then I'd spit it out when I loaded my gun. And so try to make sure I wasn't coughing during the stage. And it worked. I made it through all 3 days without coughing while shooting the gun. So that was pretty good. But so I step up to the very first stage and I'm thinking, okay, we're just going to get through this. We're sick, but we're just going to pay attention to where our dot's at. We're going to get good trigger presses. We're not going to be able to be as aggressive as we normally are. So we're just going to shoot some good points. Stand by, beep, step in. Literally the first shot of the entire match broke the gas key on my rifle. Bang, click.
Well, we're not sure.
I think we're pretty sure.
We know that's the cause. We know a broken gas key was the issue, but you weren't sure if it had broken and deteriorated to that point or if the first shot like actually snapped it.
Yeah, so it's possible that I actually broke this a little while ago because I have had a couple of just like random failures to feed that have just kind of gone undiagnosed. And this rifle has somewhere in the neighborhood of, I would guess about 25,000 rounds through it. It's a pretty high round count rifle. I've had it since 2017, and it's been my main match rifle for most of this time. And so I actually have a new rifle on the way from JP that just didn't quite get here in time because I was like, hey guys, this thing's kind of hanging on for dear life and we should probably replace this before something like exactly this happens. But I have throughout the season had just like a couple weird things. So the thought is, because after we broke this, I went and added a bunch more gas to it. That got me through the next 3 stages. Then it failed me in the shoot off, which I won anyways because I'm a G. And then I went and we grabbed Andre. He got a couple dudes from the shop, put him on speakerphone, spent an hour in a bay troubleshooting and switching parts around. And it seems like one of the bolts that holds the gas key down has sheared, but there's no way to check it because they're pinned. And it doesn't like move, but there's so much pressure in there that... So their thought is there's basically that bolt broke and there's gas leaking out from the gas key when it's actually pressurized because swapping the bolt carriers did the job, fixed it, ran for the next 2 days.
Yeah. So like for those not intimately familiar with the AR-15, essentially when your rifle is in battery and the bolt is locked, essentially when the gas comes down the gas tube, that pressurizes an expansion chamber. So it goes through the gas key behind your bolt, and that when you have your gas rings, that's the seal that allows the whole thing to expand, and that expansion is what rotates the bolt, allows it to unlock, and then the chamber pressure is what cycles the bolt. But so the hypothesis is that one of those 2 bolts on top of the gas key fractured, and that was just enough of a gas leak that there wasn't enough pressure to unlock the bolt at the right moment for it to cycle properly.
Yeah.
So whether that was catastrophic failure on, match karma, first shot of the match, or if that had been something that was a long time coming and just worked itself loose enough that there was enough of a bleed off there / probably significant temperature change.
That's my thought. I think the fact that it was colder, because then you have different metal expansion issues and probably need more pressure to unlock the bolt in the first place.
Yeah.
I think a combination of those two things probably was what maybe kind of pushed it over the edge.
Yep. And it sounds like lots of people found that too. Because like when you tee off right away in the morning here, this is first week of December in St. George, Utah. So when the sun is still below the hills, it's probably 30, 35 degrees outside, maybe 40.
Yeah. Mid 30s.
Yeah. It's kind of like hovering just above freezing. And then when the sun crests the mountain, then we get up 40s, 50s. I don't know. What do you think it's outside right now? Do you think it's like 60, 65?
No. It's like mid 50s.
Mid 50s. Okay. So, so we have kind of a huge temperature fluctuation there, but a lot of people don't necessarily shoot in that like 35 to 45 degree range, and lubricants, gas settings, burn rates on powder, they do kind of change. Some do change in that temperature range.
Yep.
Especially if you use a thicker oil or if you're do not clean your gun guy. All right, so you got some sludge in there, like that stuff. It's kind of running a little.
This is not a good place to be. Do not clean your gun guy. Yeah,
if you're running right on the edge of barely cycling for that sweet recoil impulse, like this is where that comes to haunt some people.
Yeah, maybe add a couple clicks.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, so that was that was how Reiser's match first started, and generally speaking, when something like that happens to him, it lives rent free in his head for pretty much the rest of the match. So, so when it went boom click, I'm like, I was on the video. I'm like, I was videoing, I should say. I'm like, oh, here we go. This is the weekend that we're going to be having.
Yeah. So, I mean, in many ways, it hit less hard than it normally would because I was really sick and I was already not expecting to put in a good showing. So the fact that I was already like, I'm just kind of here for the lulls. Yeah. It was like bang, click. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is the match we're having.
Yeah. like if you watch the video he posted, like he's already like, all right, I don't know. What did you say?
Oh, I shot.
We're just going to try and survive the day.
It went bang, click, and I went, oh, this is just how I wanted to start. And then went bang, click, and I was like, oh, man, this is going to be so much fun.
No, like, even before that, like on the make ready, when you were like getting ready and you were like,
oh, yeah.
All right, let's just survive the day. I'm like, that is not that is not how you tee off on hole number one of a national championship.
Of a national championship, yeah. Yeah, no, it was a rough match before I fired my first shot. And then it got to be a really rough match as soon as I tried to fire my second shot.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, so we kicked it off by with a 32% stage, throwing away 120 points right out of the gate. So that was fun.
Yeah. I mean I didn't have any super big drama, especially starting off. I was really just going for consistency, executing stage plans and moving through the match. I didn't want to have any lows, any low lows. So I kind of mellowed out a little bit. So I didn't have any high highs. I don't think. I would be shocked if I have any stage wins out there or anything like that. But he's shaking his head at me like, "No, dude, that wasn't it."
I wasn't gonna stuff the knife in on the podcast.
Yeah, but I was really going for consistency because I've had some matches this season where I was like, I would have the high highs, but you'd also have the low lows. Yeah. So I was like trying to reestablish a baseline, and I think we did that. I think this is really like just more beginning stuff. Like I think this is a really good location for this match. Like ultimately, I think St. George should be the home of PCSL.
Dude, I gotta say, it feels so good to be back in St. George. Like I have put in so much time out here, like between all of the old matches that went on out here, you know, like UML championships, all the hard as hell stuff. There was a 3-Gun Nation Western Regional that happened out here.
Oh yeah,
a bunch of USPSA stuff. Teaching at TPC when it was located here. Like I have spent probably like literally months of my life on this range. And it's weird now because everything got uprooted and turned and put back down. And now like nothing is where
Yeah.
It's like walking into a house that you grew up in, but the furniture's in the wrong place. And you're like,
that's what I say. It's like going back to your hometown if you don't live there.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's like it's the same, but it's different.
It's not the same. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I love having matches here. I think it's just a good venue. It's a good town for it. Proximity
it's a great spot.
to town.
If you bring the fam with, it's a good spot because you can like rip on into Zion, go check. Like there's awesome just stuff to do.
Yeah,
because it's a gorgeous location.
Mrs. Muscle Hamster is out there doing desert rat stuff.
My wife actually, while Maxwell and I were in the condo here, my wife is camped in a van about 15 miles away from us, mountain biking. So.
Yeah. Mine is on a pretty short leash at home right now, but she would totally come out here as well. I think it's Vegas is easy to fly and do from anywhere. I think it's a doable drive. It's a couple hours. You can fly straight into St. George, and I've looked at it a couple times, but like the layovers you got to hit to get here.
The schedule's weird.
You can drive it faster than you can fly it.
Yep.
So I like to go that route. But like the amenities are here. It's easy to get to. I think it's awesome. I also really like the time of year. Like I know we are working on limited daylight hours, but I really like I like that it's the end of the year. It feels culminating.
Yeah.
Like it is the end of the year. Like, so I do like that a national championship is towards the end of the year. Adam, you match direct a national championship in the middle of the summer. Yes, I know. I'm boxed in by other dates. And climate. So I like that it's end of the year. There's traditionally been a St. George match at the end of the year, hard as hell, which could we say hard as hell fathered PCSL? Probably.
I think that's,
at least has roots there. I mean, Max taught at TPC, right?
Yeah, Max is TPC guy.
Yeah, so Max is TPC employee / alumni / born and bred. So like it just feels right that there's an end of the year culmination in St. George. It's cooler, but honestly, I would rather be here when it's cool than when it's hot.
Oh, it sucks when it's hot here.
Yeah, so I like kind of the cooler mountain weather. Californians don't like it, but nobody likes them, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
So I like this time of year. I like this venue. Like, I'm so glad it returned here. And I think it checks a lot of boxes for a venue, I think.
Yeah, and I think the venue, after everything got moved around, I mean, there's some pluses and minuses, and we're going to get into one of the big minuses here in a minute, but I think the way the venue's laid out, the size of the bays, everything else, I think I don't know that it would be necessarily appropriate for 3-gun. I think it would be a little bit short there because you can only get out to like 180 yards, but I think it's super appropriate for PCSL. Like you can, obviously the Nationals is here, and I don't think there was any place where I was like, oh, I wish that we had more of this. Like the way, by rule, you cannot have targets past 200 yards in PCSL, and there's a minimum target size that they have to be. So the whole 3-gun, we want natural terrain stuff and targets out to 400 yards. Like that's not the sport. It's just not.
Yeah, it's not for you.
Yeah, and it's just which is totally fine. And so this venue, because of the number of bays, the size of bays, they do have a whole wall of 200-yard bays. I think is a great venue for any 2-gun match that's like of this flavor. So I think 3-gun might be a little confined in this place, but I think it's plenty for 2-gun. Like it's not left wanting in any way.
Yeah, like all the things that I would want out of a 2-gun match were here. Like we had the full breadth of both platforms. We had a little bit of everything, not too much of one thing.
Yep.
This is hands down the best match that Max has ever put on.
Yeah.
We say that every year, but they keep getting exponentially
because
better.
They keep getting
not
better.
Exponentially better, but he does improve every year. And this is kind of I think it's kind of, again, because like everyone knows that I match direct a different national championship for USPSA. Difference between USPSA and PCSL is like the difference between the public sector and the private sector. Essentially, USPSA is like the government or like the public sector, all right? Like we do have things we can change, and there's reasons why it has to be the way it has to be, but the gears of change turn slow. If there was something right now today that I wanted to get, especially right now today, middle of December, if there's something I wanted to change or wanted to push through, by the process, it would probably take at least a year, if not a year and a half, to get it done. If there was a significant rule change that we wanted to make today, because rules audit has already happened for the year, and so it has to be in front of the membership for a whole year. Wouldn't be able to do it until rules audit next season. So I think Max is doing a really good job with PCSL. I love PCSL format, even though some could position us as direct competitors. By the time this airs, I will probably have purchased a founding membership, right? Like I'm going to purchase the founding lifetime membership to PCSL. All on board with it. If at any time the negotiations with USPSA were to degrade and they weren't renewing our contract, our championship would be a PCSL championship in about 10 minutes.
Yep.
So, so I think it's really good. I'm really excited the direction it's going. I think they are nailing two-gun.
Yeah.
They're killing it.
Honestly, they're the only ones killing it. Like so many two-gun matches are three-gun matches without the shotgun.
Or the Timmy matches.
Yeah.
Tactical Timmy matches, not Tanfo Timmy matches.
Yeah, for sure. Very different thing. And you like the flavor of this match is not a three-gun match with the shotgun pulled out. It's a very, very different thing. It's super technical. Obviously hit factor scoring changes a whole lot. This is the only match that had slung rifle stages that I've just dropped the rifle in the front ever. In the 15 years I've been shooting this sport, I have done it exactly twice, and both of them happened yesterday.
And the only reason I didn't is I was shooting belt and I had to draw.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're two guys who love shooting shotguns. All right, we unapologetically love three-gun.
Yep.
This is my favorite multi-gun match of the year, and it's missing 30% of the guns.
Yep.
So they're killing it. I think PCSL has room to grow in the single gun formats. I think USPSA is doing single gun much better, and has much more momentum than PCSL in the single gun stuff. Especially the way it's run in my locale, like at the club level. I'm not a super big fan of how, and this isn't Max's fault, this is our club's, but I don't really like the way PCSL is being used in our local area. And the divisions, I'm not super excited about the single gun divisions, but the two gun format is crushing it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I would say probably the biggest story, like if you asked anybody, like describe two-gun nationals to me in one sentence, and they would be like,
they're going to go right to that pallet tunnel.
No, I was going to say they're going to go right to occluded dots.
Overall theme, yes.
This is very much just like race gun nationals. There it is.
So race gun nationals was what, 3 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, when the sun was even higher.
Yeah.
So race gun nationals, as we talked about on that one, when they picked up the range, turned everything and put it back down, they basically oriented it sort of southwest. And the problem with that is then in the fall, basically the sun like peaks up and just creeps along the top of the back berm and then sets. So there was a lot of shooting straight into the sun. Actually, on that first stage, I got to discover two very interesting occluded dot things. So I was walking as I was on deck, and I walked over one of the positions, turned left, and the sun was so barely over the berm that from the position where I was going to shoot a double stack target with a no shoot in the middle of it, I literally could not see the target. I'm not saying my dot was blooming. I was on the walkthrough. I had no gun. And I'm like, I can't see the target. I'm staring directly into the sun. I was like, this is going to be a huge problem. So I went over and occluded my dot and came back and shot it, did all the rifle, shenanigans we just talked about already. Dump the rifle, come out, draw the pistol, and there's an activator down there next to a barrel, and then there's another barrel where you kind of have to like lean a little bit to shoot the activator. So the way that occluding your dot works is your right eye is seeing the dot and your left eye is seeing the target. And then your brain kind of puts those together into one picture, much in the same way that you don't really notice your own nose. The problem with that is if you're making a hard lean around a solid object like a barrel and your left eye can't actually see the target, you don't see shit. So I like squared up and I was like, that's not good.
Peekaboo.
And literally just shot 3 shots into the dark and heard one of them hit. And I was like, okay, I guess we're good.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. So, and then, I kind of like stepped left and ducked and shot those other targets, tried to get my head below the sun. Did that on a couple different stages actually. And there was a lot of weird working around the sun stuff. On one of the stages, the sun was setting, so it pretty much comes up on the left side of the bays, creeps along the back berm, and then goes down on the right side of the bays, but never outside like a 40-degree wedge. And on stage 11, which was the all-rifle stage where you go prone for those folks who were here, same sort of thing. Like you step back under the little prone box, shoot a target on the left, turn to the right, and the sun is just full send in your eyes. A couple people couldn't even see it through their scope, and it's like a head box with a no shoot underneath it. And I was able to just like take a knee on the way down to the prone position and shoot that one from a knee and just get underneath the sun so I could see the target. So there was a lot of like that kind of thing where you're just like working around it in little subtle ways. And it's easy to be like, oh, I got totally screwed by the sun. Dude, everybody got totally screwed. There's no getting
wherever you were in the second and third slot of the morning, you were taking it right up the backside.
Yeah.
And like I had the advantage of that. I had shot race gun nationals and had danced this dance already. So like, what am I going to do? Oh shoot, I should occlude. Okay, I don't need to occlude anymore. Nope, still need to occlude. Like I went back and forth on the AM schedule and on the PM schedule. So right off the get-go, I just put a paster on the front of my pistol dot, and I just like, there was plenty of times where I probably didn't need it, but I wasn't going to go on again, off again, and ride the roller coaster. I was just like, I can shoot occluded. If you need it, by the time you figure it out, it's too late.
Yeah.
So I just did that the whole time.
I actually shot occluded on the first stage, and then that thing burning me on that activator, I was like, well, I left it on for the second stage. And then after that, I just took it off because I was like, I don't want to get burned like that again. And like a lot of the walls here have those like it's like that. It's not poster board. What's that stuff called?
It's like, what is it? Corrugated. It's like
corrugated plastic. Like you'd have like
stuff they use for election. Yeah, campaign signs.
So, anyways, but they run those down the wall and they kind of Coroplast. There it is. They run those down the wall. Which, by the way, for match builder guys, those are great ways to save your wall. So they run those down the wall, adding a couple inches of just that stuff. So it gets shot
this
up.
Was very good.
Yeah, so if it gets shot, so they basically have like 2 inches of black, and then there's a little strip of red that's actually a no shoot. So if you shoot into it enough, you get a no shoot on basically all the walls. I doubt very many people in the match got a no shoot on that, but it was a really good way to save the walls. And then also have like a nice clean visual barrier that stays the same for everybody. So if somebody blows a big hole out of a wall, it's not different for the people early on than it is for the people later on. But there was enough of that stuff going on that I was kind of worried about having that like second eye thing be a problem again. So I ran not occluded for the entire match outside the first 2 stages that I shot. And for the most part, it was fun. I bet there was like a half dozen targets in the match where like the sun was just so in the dot that it would just bloom super bad. And then I'd just have like a big red fuzzy thing. And I'm like, I'm putting holes in cardboard, but I'm not sure where.
Right.
And so, you just had to kind of make the trade-off for yourself.
Yeah. And it kind of also depends, like every manufacturer's product is executed a little bit differently. So how your optic was going to look in that sun varied quite a bit. So some people would like, well, mine didn't have that issue, and other people, like people are having different struggles in different places. And it's one of those things. I was just talking to a customer that lives in this region of the country, and he had the same concerns looking into low winter sun. And he's basically like, I can't use this product if the sun's out. I'm like, well, that's being a little bit dramatic, but at the same time, it's like there's no free lunch in addressing how that's done. Like there's no free lunch in the anti-reflective coatings that they use, and how they execute the emitters and all that kind of stuff. So if we made an optic that would look straight into the sun and be a good red dot, it would probably have some characteristic that people wouldn't like. Like if we remember how blue the original RMRs looked, that might be one of the things like related to that kind of thing. So like if you wanted to look crystal clear and and be more resistant to direct sunlight. I'm not an engineer. I don't know exactly how all those things work, but when I ask them these kinds of questions, these are the things they kind of describe to me. So,
do the enclosed dots act differently?
Yes, they do, because there's 2 and/or 3 windows involved. So there are 3 mediums or 2 mediums that light is passing through before it sees your eye.
Okay, so that strikes me as worse.
There's no free lunch. So people are like, oh, I need an occluded dot because blah, like, or not occluded, enclosed dot is like, there's no free lunch. So I was using Defender XLs across the board on all my stuff. And then on the rifle, I actually took the cover, the rubber cover that comes with them. I was pretty proud of myself. I thought of this. Those covers fit on there pretty securely. And I just cut the back off to where I would look through it. So I just essentially had a window into the cover when I had the cover on the dots, and I ran it that way.
I got to admit, I'm amazed that stayed on.
It worked pretty decently. I would kill for a rubber band or two to put a little bit more tension on it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it worked awesome. And like those are super easy to come by. So I'm certainly not going to spend money on more like some kind of clip-on cover for my dots, but that worked pretty awesome. I also thought it was kind of an interesting challenge too. Kind of different conditions. Like you can't always do an outdoor sport in 100% ideal conditions. So I kind of thought it was an interesting equipment challenge, like from an equipment nerd standpoint.
Yep.
And then beyond that too, like super dusty year, super arid environment, start shooting the berms, you start kicking up dust.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that dust starts to float in the air, and that catches sunlight.
There was definitely a thing where
too.
like there were targets that I shot in a specific order based off of the dust that they would kick up for engaging other targets.
Yeah, like back to our drink Ironman days. What you learn at Parma, Idaho is hosing something really close to you right off the rip and then trying to shoot long range.
Not a good idea.
Not a super good idea, because you just made a smoke screen for yourself.
Yes, you did.
So like on stage 11, the all rifle stage, I made sure I shot the long stuff first before I shot the close stuff, where some people were shooting the close stuff right away and then the dust was hanging in the air. Mm-hmm. Or when I was on the bridge, I shot the steel first.
Then the paper.
And then the paper, because the same thing, that dust is going to drift over in front of the steel.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it was definitely a atmospheric condition challenge as well.
And the berms are so high there that there's basically no wind in the bays, like at all. So it really hangs badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And with mild to moderately cold temperatures, also, I mean, like you have to drink exponentially less water.
Yeah.
People aren't stroking out in the middle of the day. So I was stoked on all that stuff.
No, that's good.
I want to go back to the wall borders though. Like that's a Targets USA, Jason Wood brainchild. And I think that's a super cool idea, because like from the match admin side, you're putting walls in there. You're trying to make hard leans, but the harder, tricky leans and stuff,
the walls just
your walls
destroyed.
Get shot up, and so they, by putting the strip on there, essentially they visually extended the wall a little bit, and the most likely part of the wall to get shot was sacrificial.
Yep.
And then they further encouraged you
to not to shoot the wall with the no shoot strip,
because it was a legit no shoot.
And then it also acted as a sponsor banner, like all the whatever level sponsors had their logos down the middle of the strip, so they're all on all the stages.
And it looks nice, like it's a clean, crisp look.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to our friend Randy on our squad. He came up after the match. He's like, "Okay, the match is done." Actually, a couple stages ago, I saw you clipped the red on one of the border things, and I didn't say anything. It's like, thanks, buddy. And I'm like, wait, which one was that? And he described it. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that for sure. Like I shot and I saw it was on the pallet tunnel, I think. And I saw like the camo net like flare, like a bullet had gone.
Oh,
there.
really?
I was like, oop, I shot the wall there. I got to lean out a little bit more and shoot again.
Oh, shit.
So
Yeah,
I thought that was a super good idea.
Yeah, I shot the wall on the tuxedo target on I can't remember which stage it was. They're all blending together, but there's a tuxedo target right by a wall. One of the stages. Well, so the interesting thing about this, one of the many interesting things about this match, lot of options, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of options. I bet me and Maxwell had different stage plans on literally half the stages.
Really?
Like, I think so, yeah.
Which is interesting because I looked at a lot of his videos.
Yeah, and he watched all my videos, but he would make a little tweak, and then I'd see something else, and I'd make a different tweak. And some of them we shot reasonably different. Some of them we shot like a little subtly different. What I'm trying to remember which one was the one where there were like 3 shooting positions, and you could just completely eliminate a whole shooting area by taking some kind of harder pistol shots.
Oh yes, that was
stage 9.
Stage 9.
So yeah, so Maxwell stayed back and took my original stage plan by staying back and taking like some kind of further, what do you say, 20 yard?
Well, so there's 3 shooting areas, and you start in the back. So there's a typical like horizontal or a lateral
movement.
A lateral movement shooting box in the back. You had to be there. There was a holy monkey. And then there was an opportunity you could shoot some of the stuff through some portholes. And then there was a second shooting area to stage right that you had to end up in. Everybody ended up there. But it was fairly big. And then there was another one, kind of amoeba-shaped stage left. And you could run up. It's the classic. You can stand back here and snipe stuff, or you can run up there and try to fly by.
Yeah. Yeah. And so initially I was going to stand back there and snipe stuff. And then through a bunch of information, decided to run up there.
Well, we were first squad of the afternoon. That was our first stage of the afternoon, day 2. And wrapping up there while we were waiting, Brian Nelson did the flyby option, and he crushed it and had the stage win.
Yeah. So we're like, well, okay. Brian had the stage win doing that option. Clearly, it's not a bad option. Like, is it the best option? We're not really sure yet.
Which normally that's a trap.
Yes.
Normally running up to the front is a trap.
Normally it's a trap, but this was one of those spots where it's like, okay. Well, and I think the thing is you had to do it pretty full
You
set.
had to do it fast.
Yes.
If you're not a fast guy, you had to run through there and rip 25s all the way through.
Well, and the other thing is you had to exit the first position really fast because you kind of ran out left and there was like one target all by its lonesome. You had to basically hit that target at a dead sprint.
Yeah, it pulled you like deep stage right before you could start moving up.
Yeah. And so
or stage left.
Stage left, yeah. So anyway, so I shot the run-up plan. Maxwell shot the stay-back plan. My time was, in fact, faster, so the run-up plan was the way to go. But yeah, on I think all the stages we had slightly different ways to do it.
Yeah,
But
so
part of it's because Maxwell's left-handed, so it just makes more sense to do things kind of out of order.
On that stage too, like we're looking at that option, and we quickly deduce that if you're gonna do that, you got to do it quick.
Yeah.
And
because you're just eating like 4 seconds of like movement.
Yeah, it worked out to be about 4 seconds. He got me by 4 seconds. I had to wait. I waited one more time for the Holy Monkey.
Yeah.
Because there's a Holy Monkey stage right off the rip.
Does at least 2 of them.
The Holy Monkey is the pendulum that swings kind of weird from both sides.
Quick shout out to our boy Jason, because I think so all of the steel and all of the activators, I mean, all of the everything, I think even the target stands, like all the everything here was Targets USA, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So every single thing here was Targets USA. And, you know, full disclosure, I am sponsored by them, but...
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You're holding out on me, bro?
I'm holding out on you. But basically, just because I went up to Jason and I'm like, hey, man, I want to support what you're doing. Do you want to work together? Like, it is by far the least lucrative sponsorship I have. Let's just say it that way. Like, mostly I just want to help out Jason because he is doing rad stuff. Like, the wall stands he does, you can put like 30 wall stands in something the size of a milk jug. The target stands are great. The Holy Monkey is the definition of insanity and consistency at the same time. So usually when there's a target that looks anything like this, it is super erratic and different for everybody, which basically means it should not exist in any sort of like national level match, whether it's nationals or not, because it provides something different for every single shooter, which you can't have. You need every single shooter to be shooting the same stage. The Holy Monkey, despite looking like chaos, actually shows the same like 6 or 7 weird presentations in a row every single time, perfectly without fail.
It waves like it moves like a beauty pageant gal waves like in a parade, like the Queen of England when she's out. Like
it's elbow then
elbow,
wrist.
elbow, wrist, wrist.
Yeah,
like the whole thing. Like that's kind of go and Google it because the internet exists. But like if you need a mental picture for the rest of the show, like it's elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, just like the princesses wave in like a parade.
Yeah.
Because, I think the first time he showed it to Troy on the USPSA side, Troy's like, oh, that thing's not consistent. He's like, yeah, it is. He's like, it goes the same every time. He's like, all right, shallow, shallow, deep, middle, shallow, deep, deep. It's the same all the way through.
Exactly the same every single time.
And like I said, I mean, stacking up a bunch of mics bothers me more than Riser beating me by 4 seconds. So I was like, I'm making sure I got some. And like, I called a bad shot. I kind of got a solid first one and I kind of swatted a second one. And I was like, part of me would like let that ride.
Yeah.
But like, I had a bad experience. So I waited for it to come around again. And then shooting from the back, where I ended up to shoot the Holy Monkey, lined me up perfect to shoot the 3 windows that I had to shoot in the back. Whereas some people who kind of got scared off that plan, they're like, well, you got to hit this spot so perfect. I was like, I hit that spot super easy.
Yep.
So like shooting the Holy Monkey teed me up to hit those correctly. And then the injury that I was nursing, I knew I was not going to be the fastest agility guy here. Like my movement was good. I hit my spots good. But if it was like a raw sprint, like I just wasn't on my A game. So I was looking at that plan and I was like, you gotta run fast and you gotta hit all the splits super aggressive and they all gotta land.
Yep.
And so I hedged towards I still was moving, but I stayed back and sniped instead of moving forward. Also, Riser shot competition. I shot practical division. The way the practical division ammo capacities would have landed, that would
have put your reload in a
really
weird
it would have
spot,
put my reloads in a
you
weird spot.
You probably would have had to do 2.
Yeah, I probably would have had to do
one
2.
going into that position and one coming out.
Yeah, and I think the one coming out had a high 180 risk.
Oh, because you're left-handed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was a big left to right, and it actually came up range just a little bit. So think of it as a right-handed shooter, like a right to left reload that also comes up range. And
not that I can't do that, but like given a choice, and it's got to be full tilt.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think this is going to work out the best for me on this stage. So I stayed back. Points wise, we were pretty similar. I think we both had a mic. I got one.
Yeah.
I got one just inside the rhubarb on the tuxedo.
I had a mic on the back swinger. You had a mic on the tuxedo.
Yeah.
We were pretty close points wise, within like a Charlie.
Yeah.
And I just beat you on time.
Yep.
Yep. But yeah, really really interesting. Like how many different stage plans I saw top level people doing. Middle pack people doing. There were definitely like. On our very last stage, I literally changed my stage plan while I wasn't quite making ready yet, but I was standing there with my rifle in my hand about to make ready. And I went, oh, if I shoot that, then that, then that, then that puts me there and I can go back there. And like it was funny because I told somebody I did that and I was like, oh yeah, I would change my stage plan while I was making ready. And some guy goes, pretty sure that I've listened to a podcast where they've said, don't do exactly that. And I'm pretty sure that it was your voice saying those words. So I'm like, yeah, you are correct. But
yeah.
So sometimes it is a thing.
Well, and here's what I like about the options too. Like I like that there's options. I like that I think the problem solving element of action shooting sports is what keeps me intrigued.
Yep.
But there can be a point where it's just overload. Like you have options and you're not sure what to do. like it's kind of paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
Like the first, maybe like the second or third year of PCSL when I showed up to the Cobalt range, I looked at a couple of those stages and I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like what? Where do I even start anywhere with anything, any gun? Like there was no basis on where to start from. And it was a process to kind of untangle Charlotte's Web. That's not how the stages here were. There were options, but it's more like chess. It's like, yes, you can move here, but then what are the second, third degree consequences of that? You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I find interesting. So it's like, it's open for interpretation without being overwhelming. Like you had to be here 2 days before the match to like do surgery on all these stages ahead of time. Or, you know, Max is big on the practicism stuff. Like,
yeah,
you know, it wasn't, I need to have scouted this at home, you know, in virtual reality to have any idea what was going on. Like I kind of rolled up, and as long as I was confident where all the targets were and where I had to hit them, I was comfortable with, okay, now how do we massage a stage plan to hit all those? So
yeah, for sure. But yeah, it was cool. It was well done. Like different options that are all actually competitive. And that's the thing. It's like usually there's one option that's clearly way better than all the other options. So this was a like, you know, a couple % here and there by running the different options. It wasn't like you were going to pick one of these three options and it was going to be catastrophically bad. It was going to be like, no, my strengths are such that I'm going to shoot it this way.
Yeah,
So,
we're talking like a hit factor.
Yeah.
One hit factor point, one way
Yeah.
or the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely like a good amount of there was some close, super hosey stuff for sure. A good amount of like, I mean, there's all the types of shooting really, like close, medium, far, some really technical stuff like half scale PCSL targets inside of no shoots with the rifle at like 40 yards. There was 170 yard rifle paper stack. So,
yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so you don't get any like feedback on your shots. You just lay down and fire 8 shots in this little stack with a no shoot in the middle and then leave. And you're like,
which is tough.
I hope those were all there.
That's shot calling, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where one of my scored errors ended up. Because I was looking at it and I figured it was a little beyond 100 yards. So essentially there was a target left, a target right, 2 targets in the middle separated by a no shoot. And the one on the top was maybe the lower third of the large A zone was covered with that no shoot.
Yep.
So fairly open on top, some danger, hard to get an alpha. And I shot 2 red dots on my carbine, no magnifier. I had an LPVO in the car. May or may not be unreleased product. But so I'm looking at that. I look at that, and as a strong red dot shooter, I saw no danger. I was like, called good shot. Like I know the hold. I thought, know the hold. Press a good shot. It's gonna land because it's white on brown background. The time of day we got there is heavily shadowed, so it's basically white on black. Like it pops.
Dude, how awesome is it shooting at white targets?
It's awesome.
It's so good.
I love
it. Like, I don't know why in USPSA the white targets aren't the shoot targets and the brown targets are the no shoots. Like, shooting at white targets is just great.
I mean, CNN might like it if we actually started doing that.
Yeah, probably.
So I have a 5 MOA offset red dot. I have a 2 MOA as the primary. I get ready to go on that stage, and I took a sight picture on the top, and my first impression was, holy shit, that dot covers up way more than I thought it would. Well, back up.
Are you running a 2 MOA?
Yeah, I had a 2 MOA on top.
Yep.
Back up even further. The RO Coop, he said
Shout out, Coop.
he said it was a 165 yard shot. So I'm thinking it's like 110, 115, not following my own advice and measuring it.
Yep.
And so I'm like, I know it's not 200 yards, so I know it's inside that. He's like, it's 165 yards. So my original plan, I was going to hold my dot like right on the no shoot. I was going to put the red on the red, and it was going to land in the white no matter what. And he was like, it's 165. And so I was like, well, okay, so I'm actually coming down from the apex of my trajectory. So I went back to, I'm going to hold a little bit more dead on, like it's a 200-yard target.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to make ready, and I see that basically my 2 MOA dot covers up most of the scoring target area on that top target. And so I was like, oh.
That's 40.
That is okay. 40. And my thing is I sight in for a 6 o'clock hold. I'm thinking this thing's still a little bit above my line of sight, but it's coming back down. So I was going to hold the top edge of the dot kind of at the shoulder line of the target and hope for the best. And I got down there. I think I had 3 mics.
Yeah.
Down there. So that was not awesome.
That stinks.
But they all missed high. Like the ones that landed missed high. So that was just a miscalculation on my part of what the actual hold was at 165 yards.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was a super interesting stage. Again, they had some really close stuff, some really far stuff, and it wasn't necessarily steel. So you kind of had to call your shots. There was some steel out there. And that's where, like we said, some people hose the close stuff really right off the rip, and then they had to look through a bunch of dust, which was interesting. And then they also had a low kind of a squat port that you had to shoot from, and then they had a shaky bridge. Well, not a shaky bridge, but it was a rope bridge.
It was a suspension bridge.
A suspension bridge. There we go. So not super hard to shoot off of, but uncomfortable for intermediate or beginner shooters, I think.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting stage. And we're going to talk more about that stage later. Also, first year of the new targets. When we were here last year, they announced that they were going to change the targets.
Yep.
Previously, the US or the PCSL target is essentially an A zone from the sternum up, and then there was a K zone where the cranial vault would be. And if you get one in the K zone, that was worth 2 alpha. And the K zone was pretty generous before, right?
It was pretty generous before. It shrunk a good amount.
Yeah, it was small enough that it wasn't a layup to aim for it.
Yep.
But basically, on a definitely humanoid shaped target, for visual sake, if you shot near the throat, you were getting 2 alpha.
Yeah.
Like super easy. This year, the A zone got smaller. It is, would you say,
by a lot?
It's 2/3 the size of a USPSA A zone, maybe, without measuring.
Yeah.
Like I'm a soul shooter. I don't measure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about 2/3 the size of an A zone on a USPSA target.
Yep.
And then
it's smaller than an IPSC A zone.
And then the K zone turned into a T zone, which really needed to happen. A sport that has a kill box will not grow.
Yep.
So it's a T zone now, and the T zone is much smaller.
And around it is now Charlie instead of Alpha.
Yes, and now it's a Charlie. So the new targets this year, I think that adds a different challenge as well. I think the targets were actually, when PCSL first came out, we were going from time plus to hit factor. Like that was a whole new thing in and of itself. I think Max really started the ball rolling on a hit factor multi-gun format.
Yep.
I would tip my hat to him on that. And so the original PCSL target was much more difficult than a time plus USPSA target.
Yep.
The new PCSL target
way more difficult.
is more challenging than the old PCSL target, and I think it's a good change.
Yeah,
I really like the new target. I really like how it incentivizes shooters to use it. I think it adds to the marksmanship component.
Yeah,
of our gun racing sport.
Yeah. If you get spray and pray on any of these stages, especially just in a 2-gun format, because there's always going to be a gun transition, and the rifle shooting is usually a little bit slower because it's a little bit farther. It really drags down the hit factor. So there's, like if you broke a 5 hit factor on a stage, you were almost guaranteed a stage win. Right. So like really low hit factors for especially for the mid pack crew, a lot of 2 hit factor and 3 hit factor stages.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so you really, really wanted some like, well, we'll just like run down mine really quick here. And for reference, all the scores are not in because I threw away 140 points and then shot with the flu.
I haven't looked at any of mine.
Doubtful I will make the top 20. So I would say I'm in the upper mid-pack territory on this match, but my hit factors are 5-2, 4-4, 5-7, 2-3, 4-6, 6-5, 3-9, 5-4, 4-9, 5-7, 2-5, 3-1, 3-7. So my lowest is like a mid-2, and I have one 6-5 hit factor on the belt stage. And so you needed to be aiming. Like, it's not like a USPSA match where there's going to be a couple of like 10 hit factor hosey stages. Like 6 is a super hosey stage. That's as hosey as it gets here. Like, and I think that was actually a big part of why I shot so poorly, because my times are actually all looking pretty good, but I dropped a lot of points. I shot 86% of points, and that ain't good.
I did not drop a lot of points.
Yeah, Maxwell did not drop a lot of points, but he did it more deliberately. And so that, like, I think, you kind of need to understand the assignment in front of you, and just coming off of a full season of 3-gun super hosey things, I kind of default to like shooting way more aggressively than I should. And I really have to kind of like turn it down a little bit to shoot points in the way that I should shoot points.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably
that's where I'm at.
Part of it, yeah.
I self-diagnosed to turn down the aggression to get the points, and my goal for the next 3 months is to incrementally bring back the aggression.
Yeah.
I got some physical stuff to work on to do that, but I'm going to work on that with In Extremis Performance.
Nice.
Lots of interesting props at this match.
Well, we just talked about the belt stage really quick. So
Swing and bridge.
So Hunter had Jason make some belt falling plates. So there are B plates.
Yeah, they
E
spell
plates,
belt.
LTs, they spell belt. And they are they even 3 inches at the thick spot?
No.
They're 2, you think?
No, yeah.
So they are 2-inch thick L's and T's and E's and B's.
Like, they're really big, but they're very porous.
Yes, they're very porous. It's really there's not a lot of actual steel there. So so you're like, okay, so there's 6 square inches of area, but only 2 square inches of area are actually filled by anything. Mm-hmm. So so last year they put those up, and there was one stage that was the belt stage, and there was 3 different spots where you shot the belt targets from, and people were like, some people were like, oh, that was really cool, and some people were like, oh, those are super hard to shoot. So this year they were like, hey, what if we just put all 3 of them back to back, and then we stand you on a swinging bridge, and you have to shoot them from there.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
And I liked the amount of swing that it had to it. Like, there was enough swing to mess with you without being hard.
Yeah, it was just enough to kind of get in your head without really wrecking you. I was, for a split second, thinking about just jumping over onto the bridge from the back instead of going around the side.
Why?
If just to do it.
Just to be a smart ass?
Just to be a smart ass.
Okay.
And if I wasn't half dying of the flu, I probably would have done that. But I shot him pretty aggressively with 2 makeup shots. So
yeah, I ran up there pretty aggressive. As long as you landed with a wide stance and bent knees, you could pretty much ride that thing out.
Yep. And they weren't
2 shuffle steps to the other side. Yeah,
they're pretty close.
Yeah. So,
but
it was fun. That was a fun, interesting challenge.
Yeah. That was a good one.
So, like I said, 2 bridges, that swinging bridge, and then there was a suspension bridge on the all-rifle stage. There was one 2-bay stage.
Oh, yeah. So 1 beta bay stage. And so this is beta bay stage done right. So,
yes,
like we talked about the Texas Championship, they'd make you shoot all the way into a bay, and then you'd run all the way out of that bay, and then 50 yards to the next bay, and then all the way into that bay. This one, you shot down and back. So you basically shot down with the rifle. Then you slung the rifle, then you drew your pistol, you shot back with the pistol, so you ended in the back right corner of the bay, and then you ran
exiting stage right
15 yards, 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean you were not shooting for 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. Just enough to get a little bit of heart rate, but not enough to like really impact the slower people. And then ran around, and then reloaded your have been slung rifle. and then shot some more rifles. There was actually 2 spots in here where you would shoot a rifle, sling it, and then shoot your pistol, dump it, and then reuse your rifle.
Yeah,
which I thought was really cool.
And like you landed in a low port, single knee or 2 knee port on a reduced size PCSL target
Inside a no shoot.
So it was a run to a technical shot.
Yep.
Not hard, but technical. When I was filming you, somebody said to me, like, you ran after riser faster than you ran when you were shooting. I was like, yeah, because I didn't have to shoot when I got there. But yeah, that was good.
There's a car you shot out of.
There was a car you shot out of, and I thought it was good use of a car.
Yes.
There's bad use of a car too.
Yep.
It was good use of a car.
There's a car you shot out of, and then you had to kind of run all the way around the car twice, pretty much.
Yeah, it was kind of a Chinese fire
And
drill.
also there was sort of like do I close the door on the way out of the car to make it easier for myself the next time I have to go past this place? So there was like a couple decisions to be made there.
Yeah, like you had to shoot out of the cars you had to shoot out of the passenger window first, and then you had to shoot one out of the driver's side. I was before riser in the stack, and I was going to be kind of twisted up as a left-handed shooter there, so I elected to kick the door open while I was shooting the first 2 targets, which would translate more into me thinking more about kicking that door open than shooting. So I think the riser what'd you get me by on that one? Like a second or 2?
I don't know. I'll start looking at it.
But he got me by, he got a little time on me there. Whereas riser shot everything, then opened to the door, where I kind of like the door was already open and stopped by the time I was done shooting, so I just had to get out. And then like we said, you kind of danced around it a little bit. Your rifle was staged cruiser ready in the back, so you kind of shot everything with the pistol, dumped the pistol in the back, pulled the rifle out, and you did another lap with the rifle. So I thought that was pretty well done. I liked that a lot. I'm not a fan of DMT targets
Drop mag targets.
Yeah, drop mag targets. I understand the concept. It is a good way to do it. I just think it's lame sauce. I really
think they're fine, but I think I would like them more when they're huge.
When they were kind of do or die, especially the one in that 2-bay stage. It was a do or die headshot, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the drop mag target was a paper target. You basically only had the head box, and it was scored normal. So you either got a T-zone hit, which would be your 2 alpha, or you got a Charlie Mike on your DMT target. So an interesting marksmanship challenge. I feel like drop mag targets are used. I think they're just kind of used in lame places sometimes. I'm just not a fan.
I got you by 4.8 on the car stage.
4.8.
Yep.
At least half of that was that door situation, probably.
That checks out. Yeah. So the other sling/DMT target stage, you started with your pistol, then you shot a drop mag target, then you holstered your pistol, then you loaded and shot your rifle into the next bay, then you dumped that and then went back to the pistol again. So there was a lot of interesting back and forth between the guns type stuff.
And on that one
doesn't exist in a lot of matches.
I'm shooting belt, so I'm reholstering off that DMT target into an appendix holster.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was okay.
Do you think
I
was gonna say.
But then I got choked up in the dismount of the rifle.
Yeah.
I had wardrobe malfunction, and my sling kind of jammed a little bit.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So my sling jammed a little bit, so I didn't have enough slack to shoot in my sling. So I ended up swimming out of it, which gave it just enough slack that it was basically dancing around my muzzle the whole time, and I for sure shot it once.
It wrapped around his muzzle, just corkscrewed up on the front of it, and all of us are just watching, waiting for it to explode.
Yeah. I shot the hell out of my...
Yep.
It's one of my OG VTAC slings, I think.
I thought you did a pretty good job. After that position, when you ran out and you kind of swirled the rifle a couple times to unwind it. That was pretty clean. I thought that was good.
Yeah. I think I fumbled the load there too. I got all twisted up because I think the mag that I had in my pocket, I was kind of staging my mags with 31 rounds in them, the one that I was going to load make ready with.
Yeah.
And so I forgot that it was an empty start.
Oh, yeah.
So there's not enough slack there's enough slack in the spring that you can load a 31 round magazine with the bolt locked open.
Yeah, but it won't go in the gun.
You can't insert that thing on a bolt forward. And so I had made the error of staging essentially an overloaded magazine. And so I kind of, on the clock, I'm trying to lock the bolt open and then like kick it with my knee to seat it and get all that in while being tangled up in my sling that's way too short to do any of this.
Yeah.
It worked out okay, but it wasn't my best work.
Yep. Yeah, lots of stages with really tight positions where it's like if you just nail this spot from a dead sprint or from, 2 shuffle steps while you're backing out on this other target or whatever the case may be. There were spots where it's like if you just nail it, you're going to be in the perfect place to see all these things. And if you're just a little bit off, then everything is going to be kind of a weird little lean. There was definitely like a really, really good amount of that kind of stuff going on. It definitely paid dividends to have good footwork, to be able to not necessarily shoot on the move, but just sort of like blend positions, like be kind of leaving on the last couple shots, be coming in on a couple shots while you're settling into the right spot, that kind of thing. Very, very nice to be able to do that here. There was a lot of that. Yeah.
I found it when I got here, and so I rolled up kind of late on walkthrough day, and I had time to walk through, but I didn't have. Normally, I would like to arrive at a match with plenty of time to see all the stages, and that didn't work out. Wasn't that big of a deal. I knew I had a lot of time. I knew we were half-day format. I would get to them all eventually.
Somebody had some videos for him.
Yeah, somebody had some videos for me. And so Riser's like, you really want to make sure you go look at 5. Like, of the ones we shoot right off the rip, you want to make sure you go look at 5. And so, okay. And I also didn't really look at the range map when I checked in. So I just kind of started wandering around like Hansel and Gretel, just trying to find 5. And so I like found all the other stages before I found 5, which is also in the back. And I got there, but the whole time I'm like, okay, I'm here, so I'm gonna here's 6. I'm gonna look at 6 quick, and then I'm gonna continue looking for 5. They weren't next to each other, by the way.
Yeah.
So finally get to 5, and I'm before the match started, I'm like finger on the trigger to shoot max before recycling Factory Gun Nationals stages. The stage that Rises like, you got to go look at that. I got there, I looked right, I looked left. I'm like, this is the same stage from Factory Gun Nationals. There were at least 2, for sure stage 1, for sure stage 5, that were recycled, almost copy and paste from Factory Gun Nationals. If not the facade, like the wall placement was. And at first I thought that was pretty lame. Because especially the way that PCSL kind of positions itself to be the competitor to and the anti-USPSA, it's like, oh, you let USPSA build your stages for you and then you recycled them. But all the stages weren't recycled Factory Gun Nationals stages, and the ones that they used, I think, actually turned out pretty well. And they put enough of their own spin on it, I think. 5 was pretty copy and paste from it, but it was also a pretty interesting roundabout. There are several ways to do that thing. Mm-hmm. So they didn't have to make it, they didn't have to swirl the soup too hard to make that hard or challenging.
Yep.
But they did recycle some stages, which is kind of on the get-go for a national championship. That's kind of taboo, but I thought it was well executed. That worked out. But I did think it was funny that you're like, the one you got to go look at's 5. And then I roll up there and I'm like, not only have I seen this stage before, I remember how I did it.
Yep.
And it's better with 2 guns than it is with 1.
I mean, most things are.
And then, of course, there's the pallet tunnel.
Yep.
Which is kind of a thing. Has there always been one?
I don't know. I guess so.
Maybe the second year they started building one.
There was like a little bit of a pallet tunnel in Vegas, just kind of more like a pallet box.
Yeah, but they definitely built.
Yeah,
they definitely built a huge pallet maze.
Yep.
With liberal amounts of camo netting.
Yes.
Some soft cover targets. That was an interesting.
Yep.
So they essentially had targets, and then they had camo netting hanging in front of it. So like you could see the suggestion of where the target was, but you certainly couldn't call a shot on it.
Yeah.
So I think that was interesting. It was not linear. Like in the past, the pallet tunnels have been pretty
you start
linear.
in the back, you go to the front.
Here,
it was very much not that.
It was very much you had to kind of choose your own adventure. There was some right ways to do it. There were some wrong ways to do it.
We saw both of those.
Yep. Starts with your rifle hung on the wall, which is in like, well, that's reference to something. I want to say Doom, but it's probably something more.
I don't know. Nelson did that for the last Hard as Hell that was down there too. It was, I think Doom. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, it seems like in like the video game Doom, but yeah, you hang your rifle on the wall and then you got to grab it off the hooks.
Yep.
Which was a 180 trap for some folks, not for me.
Well, and interestingly enough, I mean, any sort of like pallet tunnel shoot housey thing is usually, like Maxwell said, a very linear thing and something that doesn't lend itself to multiple stage plans. I mean, if you like kept breaking down each individual difference in stage plans, I bet there was like 10 different ways to shoot that. Like, which target you'd shoot first. And I mean, I was like switching around my stage plan like right up until, like I was strapping guns on. Because there was a bunch of different ways to go, and you could see like, oh man, like one of these ways is the fastest, and I just can't quite.
And it kind of had like almost like a snowblind effect to it.
Yeah, because everything looked the same.
Everything looked the same. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't have a vision of how you were gonna knock this out, like
really easy
things
to get lost.
did look the same, and you could skip over stuff.
Yep.
Because like there were two ports stage right through the wall. And one of them had 2 pistol targets in it. One of them had a rifle target and a pistol target in it. So like you could, if you got out of place, you could show up to one with the wrong gun, or you could override one and FTSA a target.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was very interesting use of a pallet tunnel. I know Timmy's already excited to use a pallet tunnel.
Yeah.
At Forest Lake, he's like, "Can I build one of these?" And I'm like, "Hey man, I don't tell you no. So like, you do whatever you want to do."
I think it was the best pallet tunnel I've shot.
Oh, by far best pallet house I've ever shot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely on the target side, a decent amount of like 8-inch knockover steel with pistols at not hosey distance. Some hard swingers. Like 3 or 4 like pretty sporty swingers, a couple of those with rifles, one that was kind of like a dipping swinger with a no shoot on it. I got really lucky on that. Like I just grazed the neck like right at the kink on my second shot. A steel swinger that was only exposed at the top. Let's see, what else was there for like really hard?
Well, I really like the way the target differentiations are here. All the brown targets are pistol. All the white targets are rifle. All the blue steel is pistol. They're very consistent.
Yep.
They're colors that pop. They're fair for colorblind people, like all that stuff. They're painted. And so like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but like on static steel, they wouldn't call them if you didn't want to, and essentially they were painted so they would go down and look, and if you had a hit on it, they were going to give it to you.
Yep.
I liked that.
Well, and there was I can't remember if there's 1 or 2 stages with 2 per hit static steel. Definitely on the belt stage was one of them, and there was like 8 pieces, like 4 on each side. Yeah. But the Targets USA steel rings really loud, and then it was C-zone steel and A-zone steel. So it was like AC, that kind of deal. And they both made like very distinctive sounds that were like loud enough that I could hear it through like the double plugs. So they didn't call hits on that and said that they were not going to. And I had 0 problem with it.
I'm still net against it.
Okay.
But it worked out well in this match.
On that stage, I think it worked out well. And then all of the other steel I think was 1 hit per. I think in that case where it's close, it's loud, it's painted every time, and an RO doesn't have to yell hit calls, I think it can work. But in other cases where it's like big heavy steel that doesn't make noise and it's all shot to hell, bad call.
Yep.
Yep. So you need to, if you're going to do that kind of thing, you need to make some considerations.
And then, like, back to your shout out to Targets USA, like, I'm not saying Jason is the only one with good target ideas in the sport right now, but damn it, he has a lot of them.
He has a lot of them.
And they like his stuff works.
Well, and he's constantly like, how many iterations of like paster holders does he have? Like,
oh yeah,
he's got regular paster holders. He's on like Gen 3 or 4. He's got the mega roll paster holder that holds 3,000. He's got the double holders, and then he's got small double holders for your no shoot and your hardcover pasters that are like a quarter of the size, and you don't put a whole roll in there. You just like pull off a strip and wrap it up and stick it in a little thing. Just things like that. Like Jason's mission in life is to make matches run better.
Yeah, and he's got 12 ideas just cooking in his head that he hasn't even done yet.
Yeah,
you know?
But I gotta say, have you been on the website?
No.
Terrible.
Oh yeah.
Like the worst website I've ever seen. Like, guys, don't judge him on his website. Jason, if you're listening to this, my guy, just pay a developer.
My favorite thing that he's told me about recently, and he tells me about a lot of things. My favorite thing that he came up with a spray paint can holder.
Oh, what?
So it mounts to the back side of a wall.
Yep.
And it's got like the dish shape to hold a spray paint can, and then it has a magnet on it.
Nice.
So you just
That's
the magnet or the paint can in there. I'm like,
that's cool. Yeah.
Like Timmy's our quartermaster for all the Forest Lake stuff. I'm like,
those.
You get with Timmy on those. We need those.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what else is going on? Oh, just like logistical stuff. So they pretty much ran this where you kind of started at one side and you sort of like zigzagged back and forth all of the stages. But then there was a big transition where you went from stage 13 to stage 1, which is usually the reason why you want to do
zones.
Like zones, right? So it's like you shoot zone 1 on day 1, you shoot zone 2 on day 2, you shoot zone 3 on day 3. So instead of leaving 13 and going to 1, you'd leave 13 and go to 8 or something. The way they fixed that was they had a shuttle. They just like, hey, when you get down to 13, everybody pile in this side by side with the big trailer on the back of it, and we'll just like take you all up to 1. Half of our squad walked.
Well, and that was the first stage of the day, so it was parked there, and we weren't sure. Like, hey, isn't this? I'm like, I know this is the thing that takes us up, but where's the guy? Like,
we all hopped in, and there's just nobody there, and we're like, are we? And the dude is
bunch of people took off. 3 of us are like, we know he's coming.
He's coming back. I'm not walking.
He's probably in the John, like dropping a deuce. Sure enough, comes out. We've been talking about him for 5 minutes. Comes out, flips us the bird, gives us the ride.
It was awesome. Yeah, that was a highlight of the morning for sure. Oh man. What else? They had a squad shoot-off stage.
That was super. Shoot-offs have been done a lot of ways. This was a pretty cool way.
I liked it. I didn't like the actual shoot-off itself was a weird, like, you got to go on this side of the wall and shoot one plate, then go on that side of the wall. Like,
yeah, so you start in the middle. There's some paper towards the edges that you shoot with your rifle, abandoned rifle. There's a plate rack and a cross plate. And then there was a wall in the middle of each shooting area. They said you had to shoot one plate from the plate rack, at least one plate on the plate rack from each side of the wall.
Yep.
So, which most people translated into shoot one plate and then run all the way to the corner and shoot everything else.
Yep.
And if you missed anything, it was a fault.
Yeah. So you had to call your shots on the rifle paper because you could just crush somebody and then have a miss.
Right.
And you lost.
Right. And like that's when Riser and I, we found each other about halfway through our bracket. Like, and we were probably the highest horsepower people on our squad.
Yep.
So we knew it was going to happen. And similar to how we shot the rest of the match, we probably shot the same, but I wasn't going out on a fault.
Maxwell definitely shot better points.
Yeah, I shot better points. And I definitely, if it was a gray shot, I shot again.
Yep.
And that was enough for Riser to beat me.
Yeah. I just ripped 6 at full send. And that was it.
And then that stage, so that was just your squad. So you would rotate through, and that was part of your vendor, mandatory vendor time.
And full bracket. Like
full bracket.
Everybody shot, then the winners would shoot, and then the last seed was best 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Yep.
Whoever won that got to draw for the prize table. They broke it out by tables. So tables had items on them, and essentially the winner would draw out of the bucket the number of the table that they were going to bring over.
Yep.
And tables had varying things on them, and the winner got first pull of whatever was on your table, and then they pulled everybody else's name randomly until they were gone. Is my thing over there? It's probably still in the wrapper.
Oh,
yeah. So like, I got my prize from this match was I got a Snake Staff Systems EDC tourniquet, which I got a couple of these.
Let's hope you never have to use that.
Yeah, I got a couple of these earlier this year because I'd say in the last 18 months, I did come across a fairly serious car accident at home. And so I was kind of always like, tourniquet carrying people were kind of like a little like, come on, man. But then I was out there and everybody was fine. But as I drove away, I was like, if that guy was bleeding out, that's why you need tourniquets. And if you need a tourniquet, having one in the car is too far away. It's kind of one of those things like if you need it, it needs to be within arm's reach kind of thing.
Yeah, you need it real fast.
And so I went to the UTLE pistol match earlier this year, and Snake Staff was out there.
I was like,
and they were talking about these, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I need. So I bought some, and then this was available on the table, and so this is kind of one of those things like you can't have these things stashed in too many places.
Yeah.
So that's what I pulled. What did you end up pulling out of that deal?
Oh, I got a Surefire. I don't know my Surefire pistol lights.
Oh, was it the XE2 or something like that? The concealed carry pistol mounted light.
Yeah, it's like the very small, like 550 lumen pistol light.
Yep.
I bet I've pulled like 7 or 8 flashlights in a suppressor and a muzzle brake off of price tables, all from Surefire over the years. Like I have walked past guns to grab flashlights before. There was like, oh, I'm going to get this $400 gun that I'm going to sell for $200, or I can grab this flashlight that I'm going to use 20 days this year. And yeah, like shout out to Surefire. Also, I'm not going to drop any names because I don't want to put people out there in a way that they don't want to be put out. But if you know who I'm talking about, there are some, let's say some OG Surefire 3-gun alumni at this match who are kind of talking about making a comeback. And man, I hope it happens.
What kind of comeback?
Just coming back into the sport. Some folks that
athletes returning to the sport.
Oh
yeah, no, those are definitely guys we would want to come back.
Yes. 100%.
If you're listening to our sport, we notice you're gone.
Yes.
And we miss you.
Yes, we do. Yes, please come back to us.
Yes.
Yeah. So had a good conversation in the parking lot with one of those gentlemen, and man, I hope it happens.
Also Supervel here in a big way. Mike Stoker is here. He's given a lot to PCSL. Super stoked on them being out here. But like the shoot off thing, I think it was cool. They had a vibe going. They had DJ Blaze there playing, doing his thing. He's a legit DJ in Vegas. Like that's his real job.
He had the whole kit. Like
he had the setup. Yeah. They're there. They're talking smack. Yep. It was fun.
It was good amount of trash talk. All the things.
I was like, hey man, you want to come to Minnesota? Like we got a job. I was like, finally we got a job for you. He's like, yeah man, this is I didn't know I was doing this until they told me. I'm like, dude, that's cool. You were on the short list of things when they sketched this out on their idea board.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it was really well done. Well, and I think the other thing too is like you and I have both been in a good handful of shoot offs for like the end of some match in front of other people, but most shooters never get to shoot a shoot off.
Oh yeah.
And like a shoot off is a different thing. Like shooting with somebody else shooting next to you at the same time is a totally different thing than shooting stages. Yeah. So I think it's really cool just to have something where like everybody in the match gets to participate in a shoot off. That's pretty rad.
Half the time I really love shoot offs. Half the time I'm the one putting them on. So like in facilitating them, I don't really get to do them the way I would like to, but like some of my fondest memories of the shooting sports are shoot off related.
Definitely the best photo ever taken of you.
Yes. Yep.
That's such a good photo.
Yeah. Yep.
Who were you shooting against?
Kyle Soul.
That's right.
Which is also ironic.
Yes, it is.
But
we haven't forgotten.
Nope, we didn't forget you yet. cheater. Yeah, I really like the vibe of it. Some of my I know we like a few things. We see this differently. I really liked when they did the shoot-offs at Surefire. So the year that I was in Open, and it was Mike Whitesides and Scott Green, and it was really fun that year. And then the year before, when I was in Limited, I won it when I was in Limited. And then, I mean, construction lights at night will bring me right back to the Pro Series every time. It makes the hair on my neck stand up. Like it's shoot-offs are that's some of the most fun I've ever had in the shooting sports over the years. So I'm cool. I really like that they incorporated that. I would really like if the people towards the top of the list had to go around and do it again.
Yeah,
that was so like we could all watch and we could see the hitters go up against each other. I think that would be cool.
There was definitely a couple squads in this match for making the finals in the shootout. It was going to be harder than others.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I thought it was really cool. We're going to go down a rabbit trail here. So is there anything else about the match you want to talk about?
No, the last little thing was on one of the stages, they had a pistol with a force reset trigger in it. Just like a little Taurus. It was a 22.
Yeah.
And it was basically like you just come over and they had just like a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper stapled up on a target. And it was if you can dump all 10 rounds into the paper, then you get 2 additional raffle tickets.
Yeah.
And then and I think you got 1 raffle ticket for just, participating. You got 2 raffle tickets if you got all of them into the paper. So that was a fun little come shoot our thing, and there's a little bit of a something if you do it better. Yeah. And it's cool.
And like a carnival game, like it's like, oh yeah, this is easy, no problem. Bert. And
dude,
you get like 4.
That thing legit was, I mean, what do you think those splits were? 0.6?
Or faster.
So fast. Literally, that was 10 rounds. It was like minigun fast. Like it was.
Yeah, if you like the play would be to get it in a couple bursts, but like it shoots so fast, like you couldn't.
Yeah, I don't even know if you could get on and off of that thing. Like it was.
And even like Jason Wood had coached me ahead of time. He's like, I aimed at the bottom of the sheet of paper and zippered it all the way up. I tried to do that. At least 4 of them didn't hit the target. I have no idea where they went.
Huh.
The sights were on the paper the whole time. I thought I had them all, but no.
That's fun. I know where all of mine went.
I definitely had some South Beach doubles on there. Is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's 6 holes and 4 of them are doubles.
Yeah,
yeah. I got them all onto the paper, and I used every last centimeter of that paper.
Hell yeah.
All right, what's your rabbit hole, buddy?
All right, so I have been in the action shooting sports now for 20 years.
Ooh.
I've been shooting the sport, various versions of the sport for 20 years. This is the first time I've ever arbitrated something.
This is your first arb
this
ever?
This is my first, as a shooter, where I was arbing something.
Okay.
So I have been on the other end of arbitrations as a match director for Multi-Gun Nationals. One of my jobs is if there's an arbitration, I have to pick the committee, and we'll look behind the curtain. I have that committee picked months in advance, so I already know who they are.
You're not just pulling names out of a hat.
No, but when it's time, I know exactly where they are on the range. Like, hey man, you good? Hey man, you good? Hey man, you good? Okay. This is the first time I've ever arbed anything as a shooter, and I'm telling this story not because I feel like I was wronged. All right. I think ultimately I did not win the arbitration, but I think they arrived at a just decision. I also tell this story because we talked about arbitration a little bit a few episodes ago, and I feel like a lot of times it's used as kind of a taboo thing. Like I feel like shooters sometimes are kind of intimidated to use this process, or they're kind of bullied into not pursuing it. So I kind of want to just outline what happens, my experience from it from a shooter's standpoint. of what happened. Also, I have it on pretty good information. This is the first time anything has ever been arbitrated in PCSL. So I also think a little bit this was teed up for me because I think Max kind of wanted a dry run at this, or well, not a dry run, but he wanted to go through the motions on this and evaluate his arbitration process. So also caveat, the ROs involved here, I know both of them. One of them I would consider a friend, just I'm closer to him than the other one. And I would put all the ROs involved on the nice list if I was Santa Claus. All right. So if I was RO Santa, they would be on the nice list. All right. So what happened? Stage 11, the all rifle stage. Essentially, we said there's some downrange paper. And so they score everything in the front. They have a golf cart to go down, score, and tape the downrange targets. I was the last shooter of our squad, so I jumped on the golf cart to go see. One of the last targets on the uprange portion of the stage was scored, and I had a hit that was it was very close to the left side of the main alpha zone. It was a very close Alpha Charlie call. And he called it a Charlie. And the other RO that was on the back of the golf cart with me, he's like, looks like an alpha to me. And I said, I would like an overlay. But essentially the train left the station, and by the time we stopped to go back, a member of our squad had pasted it. So I said, I would like an overlay. No, seriously, I would like an overlay. They stopped. They went back. And because one of these guys is my friend, he's like, don't worry, we'll come back. I'm like, okay, I won't worry. We'll come back. I don't know what that means, but we'll come back. So we went and scored the rest of the stuff. And we came back. And this is where, so I had my motivation for challenging this had nothing to do with the actual thing I was challenging in retrospect, because like I said, this has all been done and dusted by now. So I had some mics downrange, and I saw an opportunity to try and get a reshoot because I actually read the rules, pre-taped targets and things of this nature. I'm like, I at least have an opening. Probably a small opening, but I have an opening. So we go back and we look at it, and their idea of what we were going to do is we were going to peel pasters off the target and look. So they peeled the paster off the target, actually peeled 2 off the target, and they basically said, this is your hole, and looking at that hole, it's obviously not an alpha. It was much farther away from the alpha line than I thought. I don't think they actually pulled my paster off the target. Again, this is end of the day, afternoon squad.
And way at the bottom.
Second
to last, sun's going down. We're trying to get off the range.
Yeah, they're already thinking about what kind of pizza they're ordering. And so as soon as they're pulling pasters off the target, I'm like, okay, this is off the reservation. This is not how scores are determined at a national championship. So I already know I have grounds to challenge this thing. But basically, like, they peeled the paster off your target and I said, this is your hole. It's not an alpha. And so we get back and it's time to approve the score. And I said, I asked for an overlay. I didn't get one. I would like to, we call the range master. There's 2 types of range masters, broad categories. All right. In terms of reshoots, there are range masters who kind of fall on what I'll call the shooters. I don't mean this in good or bad terms. It's just different. There's range masters who will give out reshoots pretty freely because they're like, well, they want you to have your best opportunity to lay down the best score you can. If there's something that run amok, no harm, no foul, reshoot. The other side is very averse to giving reshoots. They will pretty much resist at all costs doing a reshoot. Either in that it puts their match behind, like drink Iron Man. All right, there's no reshoots at Iron Man because they said it would put them behind. So essentially, they would figure out some off the clock method, fast and loose with the rules to make you happy or not happy or come to a resolution. Let's say, or, and I would put Max in this category. They see like people edging or jockeying for reshoots as cheating. All right, like you got another chance. Like they see it as a competitive advantage to get a reshoot. So I know Max kind of falls into that category. And if you read his rule book, which I did on the way here, if you read his rule book and the way some of the stuff is worded, it's worded towards hedging against cheaters, people doing things on purpose to trigger reshoots.
Yep.
So he's averse to that. I know that going in. And I would also say that most reshoots, if not, I'm sure there are exceptions. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But reshoots are almost always RO induced. Either
Yep.
they didn't maintain a target, range equipment malfunction. They got in the wrong place. That's where you got shooter contact with an RO, the classic run over the RO so you get a reshoot thing.
Yep.
That RO put themselves in a position to get ran over. So that's like kind of situational awareness. Or they get tripped up in order of operations because, again, this is a national championship. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, if you don't want reshoots, then don't let me catch you slipping. Back to good cop, bad cop, good cops catching bad cop stuff. Because I'll point this stuff out because I'm comfortable in my knowledge of the rules. That it's kind of like when you have a question in a briefing. If you have a question and you don't ask it, there's at least one other person in the room thinking it, and they're not willing to ask it.
Yep.
If something happens to me at a match, I kind of feel like somewhere down the line, somebody who wasn't comfortable standing up for themselves got boned in a similar way. So that's where I'm willing to call people out on order of operations type things. And so here, I'm pretty confident they made a call. I asked for an evaluation, which is in the rules. I didn't get it, in my opinion. I didn't get it. And then that would affect the ability to determine a score. So Max came. He talks to his guys, which he should. Comes up, and he's like, hey, I talked to him, and it's going to stand. The score is going to stand. I'm like, okay, well, I don't agree with that. X, Y, and Z reasons. This is a very cordial conversation. Like we both respect each other as professionals. So like it was a pretty uneventful conversation. But he's like, I can just tell just looking at his eyes, he's like, I'm not moving. Like the score is standing. And he said, you can arbit if you want to. Kind of like how serious are you about your position? I'm like, yeah, I'll arbit, no problem. Like, okay. And so essentially he asked me to prepare, when you arb something, prepare your statement and cite the rules that you think are in play, and then it will go to a committee. Right now, the rules on what that committee looks like in PCSL are very loose. So I was kind of curious how this would play out. I was kind of convinced that I wasn't not sure it wasn't going to be a kangaroo court. But he's like, just, give me a statement, send me a statement, email me a statement, by the end of the night, and, we'll get a committee together. And I was kind of hanging around because I wasn't sure if I had to wait for this thing. Like, it's kind of like going to court. Like, you might have to testify or something like that. He's like, nope, just send me a statement. He's like, I got 5 people picked, 5 instead of 3. In USPSA, it's 3. And we'll do it from there. The other thing I like is it's completely anonymous. So the people who were involved in this committee don't necessarily know it was me, or at least they didn't know until they were done making their decision.
I think that's good.
I'm sure I've met all of these people at one point. One of them is a very good friend of mine, and a member of our multi-gun national staff. So, but there's 5 people involved. Some of them I definitely know. Some of them, I don't know if I could pick them out of a lineup. None of the other ones really jump off the page to me. It's like people oh yeah, I know that guy and I have his phone number. But essentially, I prepared a statement. He copied and pasted that into the paperwork. He got statements from both the other ROs involved, so their recollection of what happened. And then there's a range master statement, which is essentially Max giving his account of what happened. And then they deliberated on it. And he said when he gave them the paperwork or gave them the statements, he said, like, take 30 minutes and like, go over this, but like, don't get too crazy with it. And he said they deliberated for an hour and a half.
No kidding.
Yeah, he said it was very heated, and they spent an hour and a half on it. And he's like, there was a lot of really good conversation that came about from it.
Interesting.
All right. So if for that reason alone, I'm glad that we did this. But I cited some rules. I cited 3 rules, and basically, if this, then that; if that, then this; if that, then the other thing. I think I should get a reshoot. And essentially, they arrived at... Essentially, the rule we were arguing about is 11.4.2, which is competitors should be given an opportunity to view each target and ask for the RO team to rescore the target, which was kind of written around... Well, and then there's a follow-up rule, 4.2 or 11.4.2.1, so a subset of that rule. Should a target get reset immediately after the RO team scores it, this is not grounds for a reshoot. Someone out there is yelling at their phone. And the score has determined by the RO team stands. So my argument there was we hadn't left yet, right? Like we were still there evaluating the target.
Yep.
And then it got pasted. So I didn't get the opportunity for a reevaluation. They would say they did reevaluate it because they peeled the pasters off. That's not an accurate way to reevaluate a target because once a paster goes on, the hole is altered, the grease ring is removed. It's a different hole. But essentially, they wrote this in there, and the slippery slope they're trying to avoid, and I understand this, you can't give somebody to ARB an opportunity to ARB every single point on every single target, or the match will never get done.
Yep.
And if somebody pastes a target, like they're not going to essentially trigger a bunch of reshoots just because somebody pre-taped a target if it's already been scored. That's where they say all the stuff about having a delegate. My position in this was we were all still standing there. It wasn't prematurely taped. And essentially, I didn't get the chance. I asked for a reevaluation at the appropriate time, and I didn't get it. Ultimately, they decided against that. They said, no, you did. You got a reevaluation. They pulled the paster. Those guys are pretty confident in the pasters they pulled, even though I don't agree. And ultimately, they didn't get a reshoot. But I didn't get a reshoot. But they did. They printed off everybody's statements, what everybody said. I think the other people involved gave very fair and impartial accounts of what happened. And essentially, they have a written thing that I submitted for arbitration at 9:15 p.m. That's after I got back to the house here. Typed out, how long was I typing on that email, like citing rules? I was digging up the rule citation.
Good half hour, if not more.
Yeah, so I put 30 minutes into a well thought out perspective on what happened. So they got that email at 9:15, which I'm guessing they were camped out. Well, no, they were probably back at the PCSL or at the RO house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they were back at the RO house. They reached a decision at 10:05 in the evening. And they basically said, score stands, no reshoot. Reasoning, they cited the rules, the conclusion that they came to, and then they all signed it. And that paperwork was all given to me. It's not posted publicly, I don't think. Like USPSA, they have to post it so other people can go. And so what I like about this process is I was given a chance to appeal to a jury of my peers, essentially. Everybody involved gave good faith account of what they thought, their perspective on what happened. I feel like it was adequately considered from all sides. They came to a decision based on rule citation, and then they gave it to me. And he handed it to me this morning. He said, he's like, I stand behind this decision. Like, you can blow it out publicly or whatnot. And I don't talk about it to blow it out publicly. I'm talking about it because I want people to kind of have a little bit of a window into this is a part of the game. I look at this like some people think that this is like, oh, these cheaters, they're trying to get a reshoot. They're trying to get one over. It's like, if you don't want me to try and get a reshoot, don't slip up in the process. Like, if you leave gaps in the process, you play fast and loose with the rules. Shooters are going to play fast and loose with trying to get reshoots. So I thought I had a legit angle. I put it at 50-50 if it was going to go my way or not. But now I had my day. I had my say. A bunch of people evaluated it, and it's done. Whereas I think some other people, they're afraid to go through this process, and then they'll bitch about it for the next 10 years and be like, they'll tell this story for the next decade as if they're like Elias in Platoon, like just getting massacred as the choppers are flying away. Like, oh man, those guys screwed me. My friend Ryan Muckenherd, one of my best friends in the world, he has a story from every match he ever went to about how the ROs screwed him. All right. Oh, did you arb it? Oh, no, I didn't want to make it a big thing, but I do want to tell people about it every time they'll listen. All right. Well, hey, here's what happened to me. Went through the process. It's over. Good with it. And it's out there. And I don't think people fully appreciate that. Hey, eligible things, this can be done. It's not scary. It's not taboo. If you want to have a full shake on having your voice heard on something like that, that's what arbitration is for. And if you're not willing to do it, then you're willing to take it to the grave. But there's a little behind the scenes on an actual arbitration. This is the first time I've ever arbitrated something as a competitor. Didn't go my way. No hard feelings. And that is what happened without, there's even more details, but that's the basic outlines of the story.
Right. Well, as a nice little palate cleanser after that, I got two more quick things, and then we're going to talk about results. Thing number one, your opinion might change here really fast on how you feel about Max, because I'm scrolling through the match booklet, and there's one photo of you in the match booklet. Do you know what photo that is?
What's the one on the front page, right?
That is the photo of you shooting the target during the staff match that you forgot to shoot during the main match.
What's that?
So, if you recognize that target right there.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
I didn't even put that together.
They have a photo of Maxwell shooting a target that he forgot to shoot in the main match from last year. I don't think anybody did that intentionally, but I just recognized that, and I was like, that's really funny.
No, Max and I are good. We're solid.
Yeah.
If he doesn't like me, he pretends very well.
Yeah. No, Max is awesome. What one more thing before we talk about stuff here. Some dude, and I say some dude because neither one of us know who this guy is or what company he has started.
I don't think he knows what company
he doesn't. Yeah, but he rolled up and handed me and Maxwell personally engraved PMags with the On The Perf logo on them. Very well done. Like nice enough that I'm
very well done.
Nice enough that I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to hang it up on the I Love Me wall. And I was like, oh, dude, thank you so much. This is awesome. I'm glad you're a fan of the podcast. Like, what's your Instagram for your business? I'll give you a shout out or something.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he's like, I don't really have one yet. He's like, you guys can just introduce me as the guy who doesn't know what he's doing yet. I'm like, okay.
All right, so we got self-image issues.
Yeah, so you might not know what you're doing, but you know what you're doing when it comes to the laser, because that was well done.
Well, it's kind of funny because he was hanging out behind our squad for a while, and he stands where my chick would stand if she was watching a match, like awkwardly far away from everybody, but obviously watching our stage. And so I was about to like go up to him and be like, "Hey man, like if you're watching, like you can
hang out.
You can come hang out." And before I did that, he came up with the mags. I was like, "Oh, okay, you didn't need the invitation."
That's awesome.
And I had that too. Like, man, the number of listeners that came up and approached us, very humbling and very awesome.
Yeah.
At the same time,
both of those things, like competitors, ROs, dude standing in line at coffee this morning, like everybody, like it's been awesome.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We do appreciate it very much. It definitely, this medium, you definitely feel like you're talking into a vacuum.
Yeah.
So like somebody out there listens to it, but you don't really get a perception of who other than your friends.
Yeah.
So it is very cool. We do appreciate it very much when you guys come up and talk to us. Please continue to, but also understand that we don't know that you listen. So if you don't come talk to us, that's the only way that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So
sure.
But we do appreciate all of you listening very much. As the show continues to grow, I think we have lots of things on the horizon, but it only continues to grow if people are listening. So
Indeed. And yeah, we're just shy of a year. We got a couple more in the bag that we recorded here in the condo, and then we have some kind of year-end wrap-up sort of ideas. So more to come, and more to come in this episode. But that's going to be after a short little interlude here because
we're going to take a brief intermission and allow the match to finish.
The match actually isn't done yet. We know for sure that neither myself nor Maxwell are on the box or anywhere near it. I did beat the spread and take down my co-host here. So
what was the spread?
I think it gave me 5%.
I did not give you 5%.
No, was it 3%? Well,
I guess it doesn't matter.
I beat the spread. Yeah.
Well, you had way more bullets than me, so
I do have more bullets. I definitely had to do less reloading.
And I did shoot belt, which was fun. Especially, it's kind of in a format that like belt is actually fun to do, where like in low capacity divisions, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. So it was kind of fun. I was glad to support it. There has been some awesome prizes in it so far this year. I think there's less prizes at this match than there has been at some of the other ones. But it was fun. I think he's moving in a different direction with the way the bounties are going to be, and like it's its own event for next year. And if it's not a side thing in a match, I'm probably going back to like a legit, a legit rig, because it's fun, but it's not that fun.
Yeah.
And for multi-gun, for the added the caveat for multi-gun, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, so reduced capacity from belt. You beat me, but I like that sometimes.
Yep. Sorry, buddy. All right. Well. Quick little blip in time, and we'll be back with results.
Yeah, so go stretch, get refresh your drink, maybe get some ice cream. I don't know.
Well, I mean, for these people, it's going to be like literally 1 second.
Yeah, but like if you need to go to the bathroom, like you could do that.
This seems like a good spot to stop for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. What if I need to go to the bathroom?
I mean, you can hold it.
Okay. All right, we're coming back in a second, guys. See you. And we're back, like we never left. It's hours later, but it's actually seconds later. Aren't you guys lucky? Okay, here we go. High lady for competition division, Jalise Williams.
Surprise!
Ooh, surprising some people. High lady for practical division, Justine Williams, the Williams sisters, with a clean sweep.
Who knew?
I mean, I could have guessed, but
and when they went up to get their trophies, they looked a lot like Linda Turnbull Anthony.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Williams sisters absolutely crushing it. Awesome job. How about practical division, Mr. Maxwell? How do we do?
Well, here's what y'all really want to know. The real contest of skill and proficiency. The raffle for the Dylan RL 1100.
Maxwell and I both pushed all in with all of our tickets.
We went all in. We pushed it all towards the center, and we have absolutely nothing to show for it.
Yeah, zero.
It was a long wait. Right as they were getting ready to pull it, I'm like, this is the best I'm going to feel all night.
Yeah.
And I was right. It was downhill.
It was downhill.
It was downhill from there in more ways than one.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Shout out to Dylan. Hey, if you would like to sponsor a podcast,
I can think of one.
Yeah, we could think
We
of
talk
one.
about reloading sometimes.
All right. So in practical division, how deep should we go?
Well, first of all, let me just say that our boy Max had a podium. Thank you, Max.
He did have a podium.
He did have a podium.
What we've established now, though, is that we need a podium that has enough separation so that varying heights of human beings could be differentiated from the place that they placed. Because competition division, man, you could have you could put a level on their heads, and that shit would be square.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go top 5. This is pretty deep.
All right, top 5. Riser gave me practical because it has all the checks in it.
Good luck, buddy.
I'm really sorry, especially if you guys ever invade our country. Amanduez.
Let me take his.
Your name's Amanda now. That's what it is. Amadeusz.
AMADEUSZ.
Hats off to you, pal. Welcome to America.
Yeah, that was the first name. The
Yeah.
last name was Szatska. Nope, there's not an A there. SZYSZKA. I'm sorry, homie.
Hey,
Yep.
Have you ever tried 2011? Maybe you do better.
Yeah.
In fourth place, this one I know I can pronounce.
Yeah.
Our buddy, the namesake drinking game, one of 3 we have going on, Mr. Brian Nelson, who said he actually listens to our show.
Thanks, buddy.
Which is
He
shocking. And
also
appalling at the same
said
time.
that it is the only shooting podcast that does not cause him to crash out when he listens to it. So I take that as a good thing.
Yeah, we made the cut of the only shooting show that he listens to. I can relate.
Yep.
Third place, Mason Lane. Surprising, absolutely no one.
Nope.
Second place, despite the curse of the match director. Somehow match directors do very well at St. George, though. Maybe I should hold a match.
I think
here.
that's the thing. I think
Maybe
it's the
that's what
location, not actually the working of the match director. I think it's St. George itself.
Yeah.
It's like uncursed. Like, you know, some places are just cursed. St.
I
George
do, like Forest Lake, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Forest Lake is cursed for the match director. St. George is uncursed for the match director.
So I'm pretty sure Max pulled himself out of the ranking. So he didn't actually stand on the box or take a trophy, but we all know that Max shot 98%
Yep.
in practical division.
Take a bow, Max. Take a bow.
That's well done. It's no small thing to do well at a match that you are also facilitating.
Yep.
And number 1, also a Czech person,
You can get this first name, though.
Pavel
I think it's Pavel.
Zenkar.
There you go. You nailed it.
Pavel
Actually, you had
Zenkar.
to
That's
say
probably
that
the
one.
American way to say his name.
I am confident there's a very American version
Yeah,
of that.
I'm sure he says it very differently.
Oh, man.
But if he listens to our show, he can send us an email with a phonetic pronunciation of his name, and we will get it right maybe next time.
Maybe.
And you'd have to scroll a ways down to find me. It's a building year. Is what we got going on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've established a baseline. We've made some changes, and we're coming back.
Yeah.
Also of interesting note, Max has 4 edits on his score, which is very
it's seeming pretty shifty.
very sus. Very sus. That kind of thing will get you blown out on the gram.
All right, over in competition division, you also have to scroll down quite a bit to see my name. This actually goes down in history as the worst match finish I have ever had. So, not a great feeling, but I did have
Worst match finish you've ever had?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not like close?
No, it's not even close.
All right.
Yeah.
It was better than last year?
What?
It was better than last year?
Oh, no, last year I finished 11th.
Oh.
Last year I finished 11th. Well, here's the deal. I'm in 30th place, boys and girls. Last
30th
year
place.
Last year I finished 11th, and I was furious. This year, I finished in 30th, and I'm like, after flushing the first stage and having the flu and my back going out, I'm okay with it. But I'm not okay with it, but it does take some of the sting out of it. Yeah, this is actually the 30th is the worst match finish I've ever had in anything. So, hurts my soul.
Can we get an over-under on if you're rage quitting this? Like,
I'm for sure not rage quitting.
Okay, because like if you're going to sell some stuff, like I got a list.
Fair enough. No, definitely not rage quit. Well, it's been quite the swing coming from a W in Texas to the worst finish I've ever had.
Hey man, it's the highest of highs. It's the lowest of lows.
This sport is not a kind mistress. But here we go. So scrolling back to the top in competition division, 5th place, Alec Henderson. 4th place, Tony Mazza. And now we're going to get into a couple names that we know very well. In opposite order of height, according to the podium.
But also the reigning king.
Of
practical rifle.
And former world rifle champion, Kyle Litzy, taking home the bronze here. Kyle was at 94%. Varric Bicey, our boy, in 2nd place at 98%, and AJ Anthony continuing his reign of terror with the hundo and the overall match win.
Here's the deal,
though.
Been
tradition.
I'm super glad these guys didn't put like 10% into the field. Like it actually,
dude,
it's not like AJ crushed everybody, it's 100, tight. 98, 94, 93, 91, 90, 90, 89, 87, 87, 87. Like
80% is 23rd place. No, excuse me, 24th place.
Yeah. And well, in practical, how are we there? 100, 98, 95, 92, 90, 89. Like
it's tight.
It's tight. It's tight all the way back. We haven't seen that in a 3-gun match in a while.
Yep.
It's like 10%. You know, a few guys at the top, they pwned everybody, and then it's like best of the rest. We're like, I think if there's anything we can take away from PCSL result-wise this year, it is that the temperature of the room has gone way up.
Oh yeah.
I think I think somebody we were talking to said there's something like 8 medal holding world champions.
Oh yeah.
From IPSC here between the various disciplines.
Yeah.
You know, rifle, PCC, handgun. International, we have a bunch of international people come. Like, it's fierce. It's fierce out there. There's a lot of competitors. Like attendance. What is this match was sold out at like 400 some? I think.
Yeah, let me check here.
There were 169 that finished the match in practical. I think there was something
I'm
like
just in the combined and speed scrolling to the bottom. Taking out a handful of DQs. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's like 10 DQs. 376 people finished the match plus 10 DQs. So there was like just shy of 400.
Yeah, so just shy of.
So I'm guessing it was full, and then a few people were no shows.
Right, you get some shrink. It's just a thing.
Yep.
But like attendance of this match and the momentum that PCSL is gaining and the competitiveness in it is, gosh, it's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
And also, what you're really wondering, fun for the show, we were talking about a spread before between the two of us. You'll notice how Riser is like, this is the worst match I've ever shot in my life. He beat the spread. He beat me by 6% in combined. So you can go F yourself. And I am going to eat a salad and buy some new running shoes.
Awesome. All right. We'll see about it next year.
Yeah, but that is what we have for you from PCSL Championship. Our Vendetta ride. It's been a year, and we've had this on the horizon. We're finally here. I don't know what's next. Well, actually, I do know what's next for me, but we have a long off season to reset, regroup, and re-engage as we stare down the 2026 shooting season.
Sign-ups have started.
And
I'm already waitlisted on a couple.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about the GOAT 2.0, which is the Gulf of America, the other major PCSL 2-gun match.
Yep.
I really want to go to that. Unfortunately, It is the exact same weekend as the Texas 3-Gun Championship. So looks like Riser's going to be going to that one for us.
Yeah, it might be. That's actually kind of a good point. If I can't make Texas, I might end up going there.
Yeah. And so hopefully we can report back from that. PCSL has other stuff going on too. Hunter's belt concealment pistol match is going on. That also got double booked with a shotgun match that is forthcoming. I'm sure the shotgun people ears just perked up. But one of the practice matches is going to be that same weekend, so I know I can't go. But I'm super excited to see what PCSL has in store for us for 2026. I'm going to go buy that lifetime membership probably as soon as Riser walks out the door. And
that's about it.
What else we got?
Then nothing else. So keep your overlays handy. And if somebody asks for an overlay, maybe just overlay it right then and there.
Yeah.
And don't let the hole get pasted. And then it won't become a whole thing.
Yeah, just ARB that shit.
Yeah.
See how it goes for you.
Exactly. See you guys.
Bye-bye.